Good morning, everybody, and welcome to your first video lesson. So every so often from now on, we are going to be doing math class a little bit different. You're going to get a video to watch of the lesson, and then you're going to do some independent work and work with me on other subjects. So this morning being our first video lesson, it's going to be just a little bit longer because I've got to go over the rules of a video lesson. So the first thing you have to know is that you are going to need your headphones or your earbuds. Those are a must because I'm going to be talking and nobody in the classroom wants to hear 20 Mrs. Poiriers talking at one time. So you got to have your headphones on, okay? Get some from the class bin if you need them, but you must have headphones. Okay, next thing, the pause button. The pause button is your friend, your very best friend when it comes to these videos. The great thing here is that if I start to go too fast for you, or if you need time to solve a problem, all you have to do is pause. Pause it, catch up to where we want to be, and then you can press play again. If I tell you to solve a problem, you pause it, solve it on your whiteboard, press play to see the answer. If I tell you to go get something in class, like a ruler or fraction circles or something else, pause it, get what you need, come back and press play. So pause is going to be a very good friend of yours. And the other rule that we're going to have is you have to watch the video until the end. Okay? Watch the video until the end, because at the end is where I'm going to give you your next assignment for today's math class. Sometimes in videos I will say to you in the middle of the video that you may stop now if you're feeling comfortable. That doesn't happen often, and only when that happens are you allowed to shut the video off early. Okay, I hope you understand. Let's give this a try. Okay, so first, today's math lesson, we're going to start with mental math. So go ahead, if you do not have your whiteboard out now, go ahead and get it out. Pause it and then come back, press play, and then you'll go on to your mental math. Okay, hopefully you have a whiteboard out by now. So if you want to write down the answers to these, pause it, write down the answers to these three, and then come press play again because I'm going to give the answers right away. Okay, so 6 times 5 is 30. 7 times 3 is 21. 8 times 3 is 24. How'd you do? Did you get them all? For your next three, pause, write down the answers, then press play. All right, we've got 42, 72, and 48 for these math facts. How you doing? Did you get them? I hope you did. And you know the drill by now. Pause, answer, and press play when you're ready. So, extended facts. We've got a 9 times 3, which is 27, with 1 0 to put on the end, so 270. 9 times 9 is 81, with 2 zeros. You're looking at 8,100 for an answer. 6 times 5 is 30, with 2 more zeros on that side of the equal, so 2 more zeros on this side of the equal, 3,000. So that is your mental math. You are done. Cap your marker and be ready for the next. Okay, so for today's math message, I want you to find out what is the perimeter of this rectangle. Remember, perimeter is the distance around the shape. The distance around the shape. We just did this last week. So you need to have a perimeter formula and an answer. Pause the video if you need more time, but here we have 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. And this would give you 14 centimeters if you added those up correctly. You also could have done 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4 to give you that 14 centimeters, or 2 times 3 plus 4. And that would have given you the 14 centimeters. Any of those is correct. As long as it got you to 14 centimeters, we are happy. Okay, so that's perimeter, right? Perimeter is the distance around the shape. It's what happens if I were to travel all the way around the edge. And we're going to use perimeter when we're talking about fences and things like that that go around the rectangle. But now, today, we get into the other measure of a rectangle that seems to go with perimeter that lots of kids confuse, and that is area. So this same rectangle had a perimeter of 14 centimeters, but what I want to talk about now is what is the area of this rectangle. If you think you know, go ahead and write it on your whiteboard now. Now for everybody, let's talk about area. Area is a measure of the number of squares inside a shape. So for this rectangle that has a 3 centimeter by 4 centimeter dimension, 3 by 4 dimension, we would actually, in the past, we've been counting up the number of squares inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And our area would give us 12, and in this case, centimeters squared is how we're going to write the label for that, or square centimeters. And that just means there are 12 little centimeter squares inside all there. Okay? So that was how we counted, but if you notice, I wrote out the dimensions in a multiplication problem, a 3 by 4, and that multiplication problem would give us the number of squares in that shape. So the area formula. So what is a formula? A formula is the number of squares that, oh, I'm sorry, that's not right. An area formula is a math rule. It's a formula is a math rule. So in this, we're going to get a formula for area. That's just something that we can use all of the time. Instead of counting out all of the rectangles that are in there, because we could do that, this would mean 4 rows in this array, and this here would mean 6 columns in this array. And we could draw all that out, and then we could start counting up all of those squares. But as our dimensions get larger and larger, the drawing out and the counting part is going to become a pain. So we don't draw this here. We just look at the dimensions. The 4 times the 6, and that's going to give us 24 square centimeters is the label. So if we have to do a 4 times 6, the formula or the math rule for area will always be your length times width will give you area. And this is the area formula for a rectangle. This is not for other shapes. Area formula for a rectangle is your length, times width. Okay? So, for instance, if we were given a, see if you can do one, if we're given a rectangle that has, let's say 9 inches by 2 inches, go ahead and multiply the length times the width and let me know what the area is. Pause now. Okay, you should have said 9 times 2 gives me 18, and the label on that, again, square, in this case, inches, square inches. So you'll notice that the label is 2 words. We're always using that word square for area because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the squares in the shape. So we use it in the label. We use the word square. Okay? Okay, so let's review. The area is the number of squares that can fill a rectangle. Look at that. We've got it all drawn out nice, right? But instead of counting, we're going to use the formula, and we are going to multiply the length times the width, and that will give us the area. And we will label it with the word square, and since this says inches, it is square inches is our label. Get it? All right, let's try some together. I'm going to give you the problem. You're going to pause, and then you're going to come back and see the answer. Okay, here we go. Here's your first practice. What is the area of a rectangle that is 5 feet by 7 feet? Write down the formula and your answer and unpause the video when you have it. All right, hopefully you did 5 times 7, and that would give you 35. Did you get the label right? You said square feet is the correct label for this one. Square feet. So this is the area. The perimeter would be something totally different. Remember, perimeter is the distance around the shape. So we'd get 5 plus 5 plus 7 plus 7, and it would give us 24 feet. So notice the difference in the labels. I can spell that out. This just says feet. This one says square feet. Okay? Here's another practice one for you. 2 times 11. Put your answer on your boards and unpause the video when you're ready. Okay. The area is length times width, and that will give us the area. Square centimeters. For those of you ready for it, you can do centimeters squared as your label. That's what that means there. Okay? Okay, last you're going to go to page 37 in your journal. Page 37 in your journal is today's work, okay? But I do want to let you know that you're going to see, not the whole page like this one, but in the journal, you're going to see a grid to use, and you're going to have to draw some rectangles. And when you draw a rectangle using the grid paper, you do not draw in the middle of the boxes, you draw along the box lines. So this particular rectangle that I just drew will have 1, 2, 3, 4 for one dimension, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the next dimension. I just want you to see that that's how you should draw it, okay? So this rectangle has an area of 20 square units, because it is a 4 times 5. Okay, so page 37, make sure you're using the grids correctly. Thank you.